What a beautiful early afternoon. What is it? It is 12:18. Okay, noon. It's a beautiful noon. We just brushed Colt and oh, I got a fur all over me. It is, it's been a lovely stay. It's Wednesday. When did we arrive? Saturday?
Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening.
Oh man. You guys, oh man. It's beautiful. Like watching all the birds taking off and landing out here is so awesome. We've had...
There's ducks and geese and crane and hawks.
Which is wild. Yeah, you can see all sorts out here. No deer that I have seen. No wolves, but I do think something that looked a little larger than a coyote paw print.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been dry. We've been getting some, lovely sun.
There are lots of spiders and apparently there are snakes because we went on a walk the other day and Colt found half of a dead snake and picked it up and was running around with it and had black spiders crawling all out of it and it was traumatizing.
Uncouth. But yeah, it's been really peaceful, and so still got all this shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not in any hurry to leave here. We had a fire last night.
Yep.
That was cool, but it wasn't really, nothing to really share. But
no, and I think
we always end up smelling like smoke too.
We do. But I think that we'll probably stay here until it's supposed to rain on Friday at some point. So we'll just keep an eye on the weather. And I think before it rains, we need to leave because
it gets soggy out here.
Yeah, the roads have gotten really dry because I've been walking them every day.
Yeah.
So the roads have gotten really dry, which is nice for when we drive out that everything won't be all muddy and soft.
Yeah.
So I think we need to go before that happens again.
Well, actually, so you can see this was all one huge mud pit, and there's still a little bit of mud in there, but yeah, it's mostly dried up. It was out there, so.
It's crunchy now.
Yeah, this is pretty grody. Man, this is something in here. So it's kind of interesting. We've had every other day a video release. Usually we do every day. And I wanted to see, does every other day help? And no, not at all. Actually, we just get half the views.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Yeah, and I put a poll out last year.
At some point.
Like 6, 7, 8 months ago, something like that. And I asked, what do you guys want? Do you want it to be every day, every other day? And I think there was something like 30% of people said every day, 70 every other day. Doesn't matter. Turns out it just doesn't matter. Look at this. Isn't this something? Oh man. We have this all to ourselves.
There have been a few cars that have come up and down the road, but not very many at all. Mostly a FedEx truck, actually. And then there was a truck camper that parked down here, but they're already gone.
Yeah.
I was here for a night.
Yep. Surprising. I'd stay out here.
Yeah.
Because we did. Actually, something that's kind of funny. We found this as well. We talked about those. When were we in the Winthrop area?
Last September.
September. When we get out here, we sort of you can breathe a little bit. It feels great. You're sort of detached from the news and social media. And this is just, it's fascinating. So somebody had left a comment, I assume very well-meaning. I mean, I don't think there was anything to this. It was about oil prices. And the fact that, it's sad to see a superpower fall and, world superpower, fall and all this. And I didn't understand it. I was like, why would somebody say that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I started doing some digging. Now, we don't watch the news.
No.
Why don't we watch the news?
Because it's all dramatic and exaggerated and negative and...
It is designed to lie to you, basically.
Yeah.
In one way or another, it's designed to lie to you. Whether it's giving you the information but putting a twist on it, right? Or giving you some information, not all of it. And the thing about it is everybody's putting their opinions in there. And it's easy for me to spot, right? But I could also see how it would be difficult for others to spot the obvious bias, right?
Sure.
And this leads into so many different things, right? But we've been following a little tiny bit, not going to these news sites, but actually watching videos coming out, for example, the White House. Just, seeing other people's commentary. And we watch both sides and whatever, for the most part. I say both sides, even there's only two, but you guys know what I mean. This video is going to come out in a couple weeks now. People are going to be like, what? We don't really want to talk politics. But one thing I will say, getting off the news, because I went to CNN, and then I went to Fox, and then I went to, not Wall Street Journal. There's a couple. New York Times, yeah.
ABC.
And I wanted to see what they were and were not covering. They weren't covering things they should be, right? Let's talk about fraud, right? So many things. Audits not getting done. Just so many spins on like, he's a maniac. Oh man, like this derangement is insane, right? He's a maniac, he's gonna send us in a war with nukes and we're all gonna die. And then I realize why people say that. Because they genuinely believe they're going to die, don't they?
Some do, yeah.
Some people do, some do. Others are profiting off of that doom and gloom.
Some are dramatic, but yeah.
But I realize how easy it is to get into this hysteria where people, you know, are afraid that the US is going to fall and the sky is going to fall, and even non-Americans, right? Non-Americans are so afraid. And then people get upset when you don't, you know, you're uninformed. We get these comments and
we try to be as informed as we need to be, but we also don't.
We are as informed as we need to be, yeah.
But we also don't bog ourselves down with all of this nonsense.
No.
So, like, I feel like we're pretty well balanced.
No,
and
yeah.
Do we know every single thing? No. But do we know enough to be logical and common sense about things? Yes.
We know what needs to be known in order to affect our day-to-day life, right? We learn the reasons for things. And the practicality is getting upset about certain things doesn't help us in the slightest.
We comment on the fuel prices because that directly impacts us.
That's what we're observing.
Right. It's what we're observing, and it directly impacts us because that's how our life goes. Like, we use a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
And so that does impact us. And so commenting on it is something we've always done and we will do. We always show you guys the fuel prices wherever we go, kind of thing.
Always, yeah.
And so I think just like commenting on it is just part of it.
It's just like a planning thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to change the way we travel a little bit if fuel prices continue to stay high. And when they start dropping, then it might change our plans again.
Plans, yeah. It doesn't change our opinion necessarily, but it does change our plans.
No, it changes our plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something we share with you.
And it's really funny how things become trends. Phrases, vernacular, it becomes trends.
Yeah.
Where actually there's a I guess it's not an app, it's a website called Threads. And I just got on there because it was recommended. And I was like, let's check this out. Like, what the hell is Threads, right? I guess it's a Twitter X alternative. Mm-hmm. And it's the biggest cesspool. And I also won't go to X. I think that's a cesspool too. I also don't use Reddit. And I don't use anything that's like huge communities of people with strong opinions that like you are either with me or against me. It's black and white thinkers.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a lot of the biggest idiots. Yeah. Like, let's be real. I mean, think about this. You wouldn't listen to like, what, half the people or more that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. But then you will because they're online.
Right.
Right, because it's a comment, right? And it's just amazing how people get into these like shitposting wars. How people become extraordinarily, I want to say entitled. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And everything's a problem. And I realize this, when one thing, right, that's what all this is, right? It's news, and then it gets reposted to Threads, and X, or X is such a funny name. It gets posted, right? This is an interaction where like you can go, yeah, I'm not really convinced, or I am convinced, or I don't know, I don't really have enough information, right? We can have a conversation here, and you can leave comments, and you can shitpost, right? But like, whatever. There's something different about these, where like you can be anonymous, or you can share all your opinion, and then you can have a completely inaccurate facts, by the way.
Yeah.
One side will label the other as an alternative fact, the other will do the exact same thing, and then they'll say, oh, that's misinformation, and that's blatant lies, and that's fraud, and that's... It's insane. And people don't realize that they're doing this. And the people don't realize they're even shitposting. We all think we're the most correct. We all are so conceited that we believe that we are the most correct, we're the most victimized, and you notice how on these websites, everybody's a victim.
Yeah.
Everybody's a victim. Everybody's oppressed. Everybody, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. But it gets you the attention, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what people want. They want attention more than anything. And this is like, I don't know. It's been around for a long time. It will continue to be around for a long time. But I realize how toxic it is. Because one person will point out, and they'll use a new term that you didn't learn. Oh, let me look into this. Like, this must be true if somebody said it, right? You can't just make up a word. We seem to have this odd belief as human beings that like language, by the necessity of the word existing, that it must mean something, must be valid, it must be this, it must be that, right? What? It's extraordinary. And, you know, and this is all over the place, right? This is whatever. Get the hell offline. Guys, like, honestly, and I know there's a lot of folks that they you know, they'll downvote me, I'm sure, for saying like, I mean, I really wasn't worried about any of that. We weren't worried about fuel prices, right? We had fuel prices, we saw them go up, right?
Yeah.
We had to experience them. You guys had to experience. And I'm like, no, I'm not really worried about it because there's a common sense solution. And sure enough, we went through this and we were like, we did a little more research into like the history and this and that. And I'm like, what would you do? What would I do? We were like, this is probably what's going to happen. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It's like almost like boom, boom, boom. There was actually like maybe a week delay there, but like whatever.
What goes up must come down eventually. So.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But there's a lot of people that get so, you ever notice this? There's a lot of people that will overanalyze.
Yeah.
And they become wrong because they've tried to use too many data points instead of just like trusting their instinct or common sense or experiences in life. Yeah. Right? No, the world is not ending. We're not going into World War III. Like, calm down. It's okay, guys. I don't know. I being out here just kind of reminds me, like, once you get away from the noise, I realize how much of that noise truly, especially because people are more online than they are offline now, how imbalanced things are. And how easy it is, especially if you don't want to have multiple accounts. You just want the one account. And then I'm in an echo chamber of my own bullshit. You know, like, right?
Yeah.
And I think everybody does this to some degree. And people get angry. But the time that you notice you're angry, just think about this. You were not angry before you went on that website.
Right.
You were not a victim before you went on the website. Before you read somebody's nonsense, right? You weren't a victim. And obviously there are exceptions to everything, right? Where people are actively being harmed and all that. But like, you weren't a victim before. Calm the hell down. I think having that insight, practicing mindfulness, stepping away, putting your phone down. There's nothing worse than believing something just because it gets a lot of likes, right? It's an emotional thing. It gets a lot of likes. We all do this. I don't really much anymore. And it took a long time for me not to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Having the mindfulness to realize how powerful social media is. Not because it's good, not because it's righteous, not because it is helpful, right? If you didn't log in, maybe you try this. Don't log in for a day, right? Feel that, right? Maybe you have anxiety. That's a symptom of being mentally unwell. That's a physiological effect of being unwell, right?
As long as it's not that you are afraid of missing a Cozy Living Machine video, because then log in.
Yeah. Which might be, I might start posting every day again. This isn't working. But is it a symptomology of like mental unrest? And I just think that like backing off, taking a deep breath, maybe instead of 1 day, you extend that to 3 days. The second day, you're still gonna have those, you had withdrawal symptoms cutting Instagram. And that's not even news. Well, yours wasn't news, I don't think. It was more like, what is this celebrity?
Some was.
But like, it's hard to know when somebody's telling you the sky's falling. It's hard to know whether it really is or not. It's harder to know when everybody is liking this, right? It seems like everybody is liking this. 15, 30, 50,000 likes, right? A million likes or whatever. So many views. And it's hard to recognize that worse things have happened. It's hard to recognize that like it's going to be okay, that it doesn't affect you. You know what I mean? Or if it doesn't, it's temporary. Everything is temporary. This too will pass, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to accept our own limitations we have intellectual limitations just as anybody does.
Right.
And it's also hard to accept for a lot of people that, what do they say? If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. And if you do watch the news, you're misinformed. People don't believe that, right? Because they want to believe that their side is right, that everything they have invested is right, and that they will be more prepared. Well, let's say that is the case. What have you done to be more prepared? Let's say we can't get oil anymore, right? All of a sudden, tomorrow, all the oil is, what else can we do, right? How can we prepare for that? It doesn't have to be expensive. Probably, if anything, it's the opposite of expensive, right? It's invest in an e-bike or a regular bicycle or whatever, right? So we have a mode of transportation in case this, you know what I mean?
It'd be hard to pull our trailer with an e-bike, but I see your point.
I'll try. That'd make for a good video, I think. But I mean, just think about it, right? Like, if food is there's a huge shortage, okay, we'll stock up a little bit, right? It's like, just do it calmly. Or realize how many other times that same news organization, let's be real, it's probably all of them, have done this. I mean, we don't watch any particularly because I don't care. I honestly just don't care. You know what I mean? How many times have they said the exact same thing in the past? Right? How many times have fuel prices been even higher than they are right now? In the very recent past. Our memories are so short.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a logical fallacy to be like, oh, okay, yeah, now it's worse than any other time in history. When in reality, we live in the greatest time in history. We have more communication, we have more technology, right? We have so much, and we need to learn how to balance that, I think.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a soapbox, but like...
And if you're looking for the best time of year to do a social media detox, I'll tell you when it is. It is around April Fool's Day. Pick the week with April Fool's Day right in the middle because there is so much fake news.
Fake news.
Because people think it's funny to put April Fool's jokes in the media now, and so that's the best time to detox if I had to make my opinion.
Yeah, or like election, you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is that a lot of people, this is what I found, is that these news organizations aren't really news organizations at all. They're commentary, right? They'll take something, they'll twist it to meet pro or con, right? To meet their objective, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it disgusts me that people take this as gospel, as truth, instead of going to the source, right? If somebody's not listing their sources, or they're clipping it, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times does that happen?
Oh, it happens all the time.
All the time. You see 8 seconds, you don't see the 5 minutes. And how many of us are too lazy, even if they do list the source, and this is the vast majority of people, I guarantee it, are too lazy to do their own research. I don't think anybody meant anything when they said, oh, you guys are uninformed. But I'm also just gonna disagree with it, straight up. I think that being uninformed is completely different than watching the original video, coming to my own conclusions, and not agreeing with somebody else's conclusion just because that's my friend, or that's somebody I've always agreed with, or, you know what I mean? Like, you can take everybody's statement individually, right? And I can have a friend and I can disagree with them, right? Or I can have somebody in my own party and completely disagree with them. And I can look at what my own values are because I value that, I need that, I experience that, versus this is other people's problems, right?
Yeah.
And there's an opposite argument for that. I know it. I just, it's all bullshit. Where does it end? And that's the question, right? Where does it end? When do we stop being victims? When do our lives become good? When can we be okay? When is it okay to be okay?
Well, and I think it's the same thing as listening to like diet culture. Like people get on the bandwagons for their specific diets and say this is the best diet because X, Y, Z, like the Mediterranean or the carnivore, the keto or the whole foods or whatever, whatever. And they say this is the best diet because it worked for me. Like everybody kind of has that in all sorts of different realms, right? Like there's different diets in every realm. There's different opinions on different things. Everyone's going to have the thing that works for them. And so let's just everybody have their own opinion and be quiet.
And I go, well, look at keto, right? I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Eat whole foods. Eat real food. What? Eat something that existed before 100 years ago. Eat what we are designed to eat. I think that makes good sense, right?
Yeah.
But I also am not going to tell people, I'm going to say like, hey, this might work for you, but I'm not going to be the one to say this will work for you. And honestly, it probably will work for everybody. It will, but I'm not going to be the one to preach that. What we're doing though is that kind of we're doing the detox, the elimination diet. Yeah.
But we have reasons for it.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, we're not going to, okay, cool, it didn't work, let me try something else. And we tried carnivore. I think carnivore does work. In fact, we know that it works. There's evidence that it works.
It might work, but I hate to do it.
Right. So it doesn't work for us necessarily, right? And honestly, if she eats something, I'm probably going to eat it and vice versa. So we have to kind of support each other like that. And, just because everybody says this is good, doesn't mean it is, right? If everybody says, oh, I'm going to take GLP-1, right? Or I'm going to take this weight loss, this and that. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it because I want to come to my own conclusions. And also, there's the flip side of what are they ignoring? What are they intentionally hiding in a lot of cases, right? And especially with that, we're seeing more and more and more. Yeah, it's pretty toxic stuff. It is a risk-based thing, right? So it can help a lot of people. It can also absolutely hurt and kill people. And we know this. We've seen it. And it's they put it in the tiniest of letters, right? But at the point that like everybody's doing it, I think that's the thing, right? And this applies to almost anything. I am more skeptical when everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of diets, the elimination diet is going pretty well so far.
We're about a week in, yep.
Yeah, and I noticed that my skin has become less pink. The inflammation has reduced from, at some point every day it became like a 7, right? And sometimes I could just lay down or sit down, and it's one of those things. We're now down to like a 4 at most. So that's a really good sign. It's going to take a long time to kind of heal from some of that stuff. But I will say it's really hard right now.
And that's partially why we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere and kind of staying put, is because it's easy to do it when we are driving fast food and gas stations and places we want to stop and eat and like
Mavericks with a hot dog. Oh.
Joel's a sucker for a gas station glizzy.
I am a glizzy slut. Whew.
You're a glizzy gobbler.
No, but I also like when we go to Costco, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you know, slice of beer there. And then Sam's Club has the pretzels, which we get more because we try to go to Sam's Club when we can.
Right. So I think that like for us, like being in one spot, being out of the way, especially at the beginning of this, like we've got to break like the addictive habit of like stopping and getting things while we're out and the convenience of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like prep as much as I can in advance so we can just heat it up real quick and it's like convenient. And so I think that like we're on a good roll here now. And so hopefully like when we do leave here, we won't ruin it for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and one thing we found is that even having sugar-free caffeine has definitely affected the metabolism, the gut microbiome. And so it also depends on how you get that, right? Like raw dog and coffee is one thing, but like a sugar-free Red Bull is going to be completely different. And Alani, we found some issues with those.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, they taste good, but they are not good for us. I've been doing some research into that, but how caffeine affects the metabolic process is really fascinating. And I found that when the caffeine headaches, right, because we were really low sugar even before this, comparatively, and we felt sugar crashes. We felt that.
Yeah.
That is definitely, we can identify the differences, right? And we felt that, right, because that's a little bit of that mindfulness and that. But the fact that we're coming off the caffeine and we could feel that too, that I would say is a lot worse than the sugar crash, sugar withdrawals. And if you're feeling this bad when you're coming off of it, you know, for us, and again, we're not telling anybody to do anything. It's just what we're doing and what works for us.
And what we're noticing. Right.
And again, if you look at like what the actual source is, right? What's the actual physiological function? It's quite fascinating. And, you know, because there's a lot of folks that they swear by it.
Yep.
And they'll say, hey, there's even kind of anti-cancerous properties. That's awesome. Like if that's true, absolutely awesome. And if you just like it, that's awesome. If it doesn't affect your sleep, if it doesn't affect your cortisol and your metabolism, and it doesn't affect your circadian rhythm, which it's known to.
And even it affects Joel different than it affects me, because like it affects his sleep big time. It doesn't affect my sleep as much, but it affects my mood more.
Well, it does affect your mood, and you've been a lot lighter, I would say, lately. You know, where. You know, because we never fight, we never really argue at all, which is kind of funny. But there's sometimes where, like I notice now, you're more willing to get into, deeper topics and ask more questions and just be like, oh, okay, cool, and then move on. Versus like, I don't have the energy for that right now, even after having caffeine and whatnot. Conversations are a little lighter. It's a really funny thing. This may not be the case for anybody else, though. You know, who knows? So, anyways, that's kind of been our experience, though, is cutting that crap, and we're saving a lot of money. Doing that, right? I'm sure. But actually, having the fiber, you know, that's something we've intentionally tried to bring in. Just pears, apples,
chia seeds,
potatoes, right? And kind of actually, you know, this is a funny thing is that potatoes. A lot of people go, "Oh, potatoes are bad for you," and I love potatoes. You know, so maybe for me, it's one of those things that like, because we put a couple pounds away, you know.
Potatoes actually aren't that bad for you overall compared to like pasta and things like that.
No, they're high on the glycemic index, that's for sure. But like, not sweet potatoes as much.
No, I like a sweet potato. Joel hates a sweet potato.
But we're still eating all of this, and I'm feeling pain reduction, and I'm having, I've lost 4 pounds now.
Yeah.
About 4. You've lost a few pounds.
I lost like 7.
7, yeah, and some of that's just water weight, right?
Yeah.
But it also, that's one of the things we noticed is caffeine was causing us, for whatever reason, the various forms that we were getting it, was causing us to hold on to a lot of that water weight too.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't know. It's just a lot of these little things that we're kind of playing around, experimenting with, and that's what life is, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't like, whenever somebody says, I have the answer, be skeptical. It's like, if there's a rule of anything, it's when everybody agrees with something, because let's be real, the vast majority of people are stupid.
Yeah.
Right? We're stupid. I wouldn't even trust me. Why would anybody else, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like me saying, our Escape trailer is the greatest trailer out there. It's like, why? Right? Because a family of 7's not going in there and gonna have the same experience, right?
Right.
But they will have the same experience with like lack of sleep, you know, these types of things. So when people make claims, question it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not even controversial.
No.
It's funny, actually, we talked about like, ooh, we should talk about this. Anything that I feel passionate about, or big feelings I'm having, or like, oh my God, I cannot believe people are like that, I want to make a video about it.
Yeah.
You were a little skeptical about that.
Yeah, because I don't want it to get perceived as like us being political, because it's not us being political.
No, and that's the funny thing is what that does though. This is whenever we do political type statements, even when we try not to, even when we say leave the politics out of it, just put the values in. Even people that would agree with our values still put the politics back in.
Yeah, people assume our politics based on our values.
Oh, incorrectly often.
Yeah.
How many times have we been called certain things that was quite opposite? Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't think people actually know our politics in general.
No, but they know our values.
Generally.
Like we tend to make value statements, not politics statements.
Right, and I also very much hold the belief that two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at once, and black and white thinking is inherently unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I used to be a big black and white thinker, right? Because that's what I learned from the people around me. Mm-hmm. You know, and we can relearn. Anything we learn, we can unlearn. We can relearn. We can grow on. But no, there's so many times that people they get upset. And what it does, though, when I have made any statement where those values are very specifically in this time frame, right? People eventually agree, right? Because I don't think I'm that controversial. What I believe is not that off, right? You know what I mean? But it's also about context. And people apply context to things that doesn't actually fit what I'm talking about necessarily, sometimes. But what happens is that people we actually have a stronger bond with certain people, and then others, it completely alienates them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? But then inevitably, 2 years later, people will then flip it, and they'll have that same exact value, and I still stand in my thing. And the same people that are like, I couldn't be around this, are fighting for the same things, or they're arguing the same things, or they're valuing the same things. It just depends on what they were told to believe at that time and what they were told to villainize at that time.
Yeah.
Because people can't think for themselves often, but they could. What if they could? What if people could think for themselves? Ah, what a world.
Yep.
Anyways, this wasn't so bad, was it?
No. It wasn't so bad when we said it. We'll see how people take it.
But it is funny though, because when I present things to you, like we're going to talk about this, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
The thing is Joel's like a yes, go kind of guy, whereas I'm a no, wait, let's make sure we want to do this and then yes kind of person.
But every single time, there's never been one single time that we've done a video or I've made a video and you're like, I don't know if I want to be a part of that you've been like, oh yeah, that ain't right.
Yeah.
You've never been like...
I always get to yes, but it's always like hold your horses first. Let's talk it out first.
But I sound more, it's funny, I sound more extreme, I think, or more intense.
You do.
When I'm talking beforehand versus just talking to you guys like this. Because I think these are very reasonable positions, and if you disagree with that, like... I mean, I guess everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
What a concept. Anyways, we are probably going to leave tomorrow. I'll see, depending on the weather. Before it rains, we are going to skedaddle out of here. Yeah. But it's been a lovely stay. And this is the longest we've stayed in any particular place for...
a little while.
I mean, except for Pennsylvania, actually.
Stayed in the Badlands for about this amount of time.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love the Badlands.
Yeah.
It's a little windy, though.
It was windy, yeah.
I kind of miss South Dakota. You want to go back?
Not right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.